Hi everyone and welcome back to Therapist Reacts, where I, Stuart, a practicing psychotherapist, reacts to various videos that are related to mental health or psychology. I specialise in working with people who have experienced trauma, so today's track, which is called PTSD, seems highly relevant. I am on a journey to 15,000 subs, which I must say is absolutely incredible. I never thought there would be this much interest in this type of video, but I can see in the comments a lot of support for each other, a lot of sharing of similar experiences and people connecting. And that's really nice to see. So here we have G Herbo featuring Chance the Rapper, Juice WRLD and Lil Uzi Vert. I'll be honest, the only person I have heard of there is Juice WRLD. So let's just get into this one.
I turn the news on when I smell death in the air. I prove you wrong, I made it out of here. I don't belong, I see my past everywhere. Don't stand too close to me, eternal PTSD. I got a war zone inside of my head. I made it on my own, they said I'd be in jail or dead. I seen my brothers fall over and over again. Don't stand too close to me, I got PTSD. I was seeing bangs like Chief Keef.
I'm very conscious there that you might have picked up on a smile despite the content being obviously about trauma, and it was nice to hear Juice straight away coming in, so that's what that smile was for. And what's going on here? I'm interested in this line where he says, "I prove you wrong, I made it out of here." And right now I'm thinking, what does that relate to? What did he make it out of? Was he caught up in something that was dangerous for him? And the line right at the beginning said, I turn the news on when I smell death in the air. So let me just get this right in my head. He thinks something has happened, as in he smells death in the air. He turns on the news because he thinks whatever has happened will be reported in the news, so it must be something pretty big. And then he's saying, I proved you wrong, I made it out of here. He made it out of whatever was going on. And later in this part, he's talking about seeing brothers fall over and over again. So these are some serious things going on for him, things that are life-threatening. And then he goes on to say, don't stand too close to me, I've got PTSD. And that's not because you can catch PTSD, because obviously you can't catch PTSD from another person, although we could get into the realms of vicarious PTSD and secondary traumatic stress, but that's probably for another video. But I wonder there if he's talking about a heightened startle response, some hypervigilance, the tendency to move quickly into a fight or flight response. And then there was a line that was really sad. It said, let me see if I can find it. This one, I made it on my own. They said I'd be in jail or dead. And that's heartbreaking to hear because we all know what happened. And what goes through my mind right now is thinking about when Juice wrote this part and sat there and wrote those lines, I prove you wrong, I made it out of here, you said I would be in jail or dead. When he wrote that, he obviously wasn't one of those things. He wasn't in jail and he wasn't dead. And I wonder if he took pride in writing that, if he felt a sense of achievement. You know, it was important enough to him to write down and articulate it to us through this song, through his lyrics. Oh man, that's so sad. That's so sad to think about. Well, let's just play it from here.
I'll be in jail or dead. I seen my brothers fall over and over again. Don't stand too close to me, I got PTSD. I was hearing bangs like Chief Keef, always yelling names that's deceased. I
go off my mind and my instinct. Shooting at the same time, we was in sync. On the same thing, try and repeat. We was in the whips, right back on the enemy. Stuffed on my last hit, I was in the middle seat. Fuck it out the sunroof, Brody got a quick release. And we in the car real fast with police. Shots fired back, but it's ass in the street. When I bought a 40 show, Brittany and Tiffany, knowing that they call it shit they can't get from me. A lot of warfare, 17, had a 50p. Flexed on niggas, so you know they want Killer G. Royalty, posted in the hood with some Billy Keys. Loyalty, rock dash, show them what it really mean. I can't sleep cause it's a war zone in my head. My killer's good, they know I'm hands on with the bread. $1 million ahead, I'm still angry, seeing red. How the fuck I'm supposed to have fun? All my niggas dead.
I turn the news on when I smell.
I've absolutely no idea who is rapping there, but it sounds like there was some kind of altercation between them and the police, or them and some rivals, or I think they refer to them as enemies, but I guess that could be the police as well. And he's talking about being in some shootout, I'm guessing, and trying to get away from the police in their car. And I know a whip is a car, because once I picked up this ex-gang member whose job it is to talk to youngsters about the dangers of joining gangs. And as he got into my car, he referred to it as a slick whip, I think he said. I mean, there's absolutely nothing slick about my 7-seater family car, so I think he was just trying to be kind, but I took the compliment nonetheless. So they're in this shootout. What happened then? And this bit, all of his friends are dying, you know. There's all this stuff going on. How is he supposed to have fun? How is he supposed to live his life? I mean, I'm not sure if he's talking from the perspective of a famous rapper here, or of whether it's from the perspective of someone in the community. But if it's from the perspective of a famous rapper, he's got all this stuff, he's got all this money, he's got all this fame. How is he supposed to enjoy any of this when there's just all this other stuff going on and his friends are being killed?
Have fun, all my niggas dead.
I turn the news on when I smell death in the air. I prove you wrong, I made it out of here. I don't belong, I see my past everywhere. Don't stand too close to me, eternal PTSD. I got a war zone inside of my head. I made it on my own, they said I'd be in jail or dead. I seen my brothers fall over and over again. Don't stand too close to me, I got PTSD.
Used to run home from the train stop, running so fast, dodging raindrops. Remember got robbed at the park once. Remember thinking that bitch probably ain't caught. Remember I was with my mama one time, seen a nigga through the glass, hit a nigga with a bank shot. Point blank, head hanging off his tank top. Walked off, we drove off, went to game. Stop. Quiet right there, pick up San Andreas. Certain things we ain't talk about.
So again, I'm not sure who this is rapping here, but it looks like this chap is giving some examples of just how unsafe life is for him. You know, he used to have to run home as he's been robbed before. And I think he's talking about seeing someone else get shot. And despite that, despite what to me seems like an absolutely horrific thing to witness and to see, he continued his journey to GameStop to buy San Andreas, which I'm guessing is the Grand Theft Auto game, which ironically, although I'm not sure if I'm using the word ironically correctly there, but it's a game where you can go around and cause mindless violence. It just shows the detachment, I guess, from what's going on. You know, that detachment as a safety behaviour, to not have to really feel it. It's hard.
Right there, pick up San Andreas. Certain things we ain't talk about, mama, we just prayed up. We seen it all, don't get involved. Carry the weight of the world like a shawl. Conceal it, reveal it if they pulling cards. I still can feel it, I know that the world is evil in case you thought a nigga forgot it. When my homie was bleeding out, another homie went in his pockets. Please do not run up on me, not even as fans. Niggas get fanned down on the den. Ryan, I'm flying, I'm scary as hell. I need me a Zan.
Days seem longer as life gets shorter. We know sex.
So just a few bits there that stood out. Certain things we can't talk about, that's hard when we witness difficult things and we try to hold it in. It does eventually want to come out. I mean, things are so bad where he is that he had a friend bleeding out and another friend went through his pockets. I mean, I just don't know what to say about that. It just sums up the chaos and the detachment and where alliances or allegiances lie. And are people struggling that much that is an okay thing to do? And he says, carry the weight of the world, carry all of these things going on every day and not being able to talk about it. And that has to have an impact on how safe you view the world and how safe you feel day to day. And if you don't feel safe day to day, then your hypervigilance goes up. That's hypervigilance is PSD symptom 1. Your avoidance of things goes up. You might stop going out. You might stop doing things that you want to do. You might stop doing things that remind you of the things that you've seen. That's symptom 2. And then if you have seen something and it replays on your mind over and over again, or you have nightmares, like the chorus of this song suggests, then that's symptom 3. And that's a full house for a PTSD diagnosis.
Seem longer as life gets shorter. We know sex, drugs, money, all in that order. Ain't no structure, no peace. We lost our order, leaving me with anxiety. Fucking love sobriety.
Right, that line's important because that's exactly what happens. Leaving me with anxiety and messing up my sobriety. You have to deal with this somehow. All this trauma being carried around and held, all this hypervigilance and being on edge is activating the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight system, that constant release of adrenaline. The body needs to find a way to calm itself down. And quite often that involves the use of substances, especially if you're being encouraged to not open up and not talk about it and not share it. Like I said, it's got to go somewhere. So it's messing up with Juice's sobriety. How can he get sober when all of this is going on? And his go-to strategy, historically, to cope are substances. That environment and that context is not conducive to becoming sober.
It's a war zone laying inside my head. I still think about all my niggas that's dead. I'm too paranoid, yeah, I know you heard what I said. I'm too paranoid, I make sure all my ops stay black. Draining all my energy, no, I cannot sleep. I'm affected by the streets. No appetite, I can't eat. I only see red when I see. I think it's my PTSD. I think it's my PTSD. I think it's my PTSD.
I turn the news
That's about to finish.
on when I smell death in the air.
There's that replaying over, over and over again. It's affecting daily functioning. No appetite. I'm affected by the streets. I'm guessing it's affecting his sleep without some kind of substance to help. I only see red when I see. Again, so getting angry real quick, entering that fight or flight response, having that startle response, that hypervigilance, just automatically going into a place of seeing red. But I think that's more from a place of protection and survival than anything else, than real innate kind of violence or hatred or aggression. I think it's a safety strategy. I think it's my PTSD. So do I. But let's remember, there's plenty of people out there who don't have PTSD, as in the clinical sense, but don't feel safe in the world. They are seeing bad things happening every day. It doesn't mean they are any less deserving of help and support than someone with a diagnosis of PTSD. And that's before you even start getting into the weeds about thresholds for diagnosing PTSD and what is PTSD and what isn't, in terms of being able to access support and services. You know, we all deal with things and struggle in different ways. And perhaps help and support should come from different places as well, not just mental health and psychology services. You know, there is more than clinical and psychological interventions. There's community support. We have people who work with social injustice things. We have mentors. And I know the comments are going to get hammered with, yeah, but that's not enough. They're not doing enough. You know, they haven't got a control of the situation. And you're absolutely right. I completely agree with you. It's not enough. And I live in a relatively safe place. I have no idea what it is like to live through this day after day after day. Just that constant level of anxiety. It must be incredibly difficult. And you can see how people can become detached from their reality, or just completely give up, drop into a freeze response, hide themselves away as a way to deal with their pain. Catchy track though, despite the content, and I don't want to take anything away from the content. I don't want to minimize what's being talked about here, but the song, just, it's catchy. The chorus is great. It's got a story. It's got a narrative that I feel is really true. I like this one. I like it when I hear non-clinically trained people talk about their experiences and explain it in a way that isn't clinical, but it makes sense clinically. I think that makes sense. And this track did exactly that. So thanks for sharing that one with me. It was a recommendation, I believe, on my Discord channel. So check that out if you haven't joined already. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.